Aries, hello. How are you guys doing? So the snake was the animal that wanted to come out and guide you guys. So if you see any this week, then it is your confirmation that maybe there is something in this reading for you. Snakes in this tarot deck kind of represent some unawakened creative force within you. Okay, so where in your life is there some untapped potential? Where could we awaken some parts of ourselves? It also reminds me of like the kundalini. So if you're interested in that, definitely research it, look into it, because maybe you guys are kind of meditating more, trying to connect to higher sources, or maybe you're just trying to connect to your own superpower that's within you. Okay, or need to. Remember, that could also be how it resonates with you. So anyway, let's dive into your reading, my angels. Let's start and see what other things want to come out for you aside from the snake. All right, so let's put that in the middle and grab you out a few more cards, please, Spirit, for Aries. For my lovely Aries, please, Spirit, imagine, which I love that. Maybe your untapped potential is about aiming higher. The Imagine card always reminds me of like a leveling up. So it's safe to say you guys are leveling up here, or on the precipice of doing that. But the Imagine card says, think big in this new chapter of your life. Do not play small. All right, maybe that's where the untapped potential is they're saying in this next chapter of your life, it's time to actually really go for the things that you might fear or feel are impossible, but you desire at the same time, you know. Woman holding a coin, this could be to do with your finances. All right, you could be meeting somebody who can give you a really good opportunity. Okay, so this could be a boss, this could be a friend, I don't know. It could be an opportunity coming your way. This can also be you here, Aries, really focusing a lot more on your material wealth, your material success, so your career and your finances and stuff like that. So that's good, especially if these two come out together. It's kind of saying that you're leveling up in this area of your life. There is definitely this new beginning that's coming through. It's not necessarily, we'll see in the rest of your reading, but the Imagine card is almost like the Judgment card in the tarot deck for me, which means that you're kind of, again, on the precipice. That seems to be your word this week, of something great, of the new chapter, right? So you're learning from the old lesson of your life. You're outgrowing situations, for example. You're entering a new way of being. I'm always seeing this person kind of, they're rising up, they're holding on to this moon balloon and they're entering this new world, this new level. That's why I say it's leveling up. All right, let's see what else comes up for you guys. So aside from leveling up in terms of your finances and the energy that you're putting out there and your career, let's see what else is going on for my gorgeous Aries. You have soulmate coming through, so there could be somebody in particular this week that is going to be important. Soulmates can be romantic, but they can also be friends. They can be colleagues. They can be people that come into your life and help you out, for example. Let's get one more. For Aries, you also have Quest coming through in isolation. Quest has been coming through for a lot of people for a while now. So it's not surprising. I feel like as a human being, like as a collective, I am picking up that we're kind of feeling like things are a lot harder than they really kind of are. Like, of course, on a wider scale, if you look at your biggest goals in life and compare it to where you are now, of course, it's going to look super hard and overwhelming, to the point that you're probably not going to take any action towards it because you think that you don't have enough time to achieve those things or get those things, or it's going to require too much work. When you kind of take a little bit of bite-sized things, if you break it down, it's like there's a quote that they're reminding me of, and I don't really know what it is, but it's like I don't know what it is, but something about like eating an elephant but taking like one bite at a time. Eventually you'll be able to eat the whole elephant, right? But you're gonna have to take your time with it. You're gonna have to start with the small things. So when Quest comes through on a reading, she's looking for the blue path, and she says that she has to seek high and low before she can find that path. She's already on it, right? But she's so in her head. Maybe you guys are in procrastination mode, and that could be where you're kind of complicating things a little bit. Like, it's good to have a plan. I'm a Virgo, so I'm all about procrastination, guys, so I get it. But when it's time for action, go for it. You're already exactly where you need to be to get there, by the way. You don't need to go anywhere or do anything major or be someone different to have the dreams, okay? You're already entering this new chapter where it's available to you, okay? So you just have to vibe high, guys. When you are the energy of what it is that you are attracting, then it comes to you very naturally. So maybe it's a really good time to focus on your energy. Maybe that's the untapped potential. Maybe you don't really believe deep down that you can have it. Whatever it is, you're entering a new chapter and I wanting you to broaden or make your imagination much bigger. Okay, isolation's coming through, so maybe you guys have been spending some time alone. Whenever this card comes through, I always say if there's any invites, make sure you accept it. All right, don't make excuses to stay indoors. It's a really good time to put yourself out there and to network and stuff like that. Okay, but if you do need time alone, then that's also fine too. Let's see what else. Let's grab you a few of the Let Go Flow cards for my lovely Aries. You are enough. All right, some of you need to hear that. You also have low batteries, so that could be, again, why you need some isolation. All right, and love. So we are having a little bit, it kind of does feel a bit like, it's kind of mirroring these cards almost. I'm going to put them, I never really do this. I just put them how it comes out, but it feels like they're in alignment to these things. Love and soulmate, quest, you are enough. You are exactly where you need to be right now. You're perfect as you are, and isolation with low batteries. All right, let me show you what these say very quickly, and then we'll dive into a tarot. This says love. You deserve love, love in this situation, and unconditional love. So if you are in a relationship, this is your soulmate, all right? And if you're not, then you're about to be, because it definitely feels like it. Now, of course, love doesn't have to be just romantic either. You could really just be calling in your soul tribe, people who you love and adore, and they love you back just as much too. So that's all cool. Then you have you are enough. Self-love is needed. You're perfect as you are. You deserve love and the things that you desire, okay? And then you have low batteries, which says fuel needed. Fill up your own cup and relax, dear. All right, let's dive into your tarot. Let's see what else is coming through for you guys. For Aries, please, Spirit, let's dive in. All right, Six of Swords. This is telling me that you are moving towards something different. The Six of Swords is all about a journey, so maybe you guys have been going on it. Wow, look at this. All this energy is moving in one direction, which I love. This is telling me that you are already on the right track in life, okay? So just remember that. Things might be moving forward for you very quickly. Yeah, this really is indicating some sort of travel though, guys. So if you're feeling cool to travel, this definitely looks like you should. This card came out as well, the Knight of Cups. Okay, maybe you guys need to dive into more creative things this week as well. Seven of Pentacles and the Hermit. Definitely some procrastination here, but it's good. I feel like you guys are really looking to upgrade some areas of your life. You have the Two of Cups here. You could meet somebody who's from like a very different background to you, by the way, with this kind of combination here. Maybe it's through traveling or through a trip or vacation. Okay, and you have this card too. Quite a mixture of messages, so let's dive into each of these and see what they're going to talk about, because we're also going to dive a bit deeper anyway. So just on a very surface layer, Six of Swords comes in when we are traveling and moving forward in life, whether it's physically or spiritually or mentally. It tells me that you're leaving the past in the past, you're leaving the conflict and the chaos behind you, and you're entering or moving towards stable times, calmer times, which is great. So whatever actions you've decided to take lately, it seems very good. It's moving you in the right direction. It is still part of a journey though. So I feel like that's where that quest is creeping in, because you feel like you need to be somewhere else to be on the right track. But where you are right now is still part of your journey. So it's still equally as important. And it kind of makes sense with the Imagine card as well, because it's like you are in that precipice. You've already moved away or are energetically moving away from the old life, the old way of being, the past, and you're moving towards maybe new energy, which is why that Imagine is here. So maybe you're going to a new territory or new things in life, or that's what you're aiming for. You then have the Eight of Wands, which represents opportunities and potentially some communication coming your way. This is about fast and rapid change and movement happening in your life. So it wouldn't surprise me if you guys are moving homes, or you're planning on it, or there's just a lot of chaos going on at the moment. Maybe you've got a lot of things going on. But the Eight of Wands is really good as a reminder that you're on the right path. Obstacles are being lifted now that you've moved away from something challenging and difficult, learned a lesson from it, and now you're moving into a chapter where things are a bit more direct and forward flowing, because maybe in the past they were not like that. For me to say it now feels like it does feel like you are learning to tap into that potential here with that snake. All right, so that's good. We'll dive deeper into all of these as well. You could receive some form of positive communication this week as well with that card. Now, the Knight of Wands is also kind of calling for you guys to be more optimistic this week, or unless it's an energy you will be in, or advice from Spirit, however it resonates with you guys. But this Knight is all about optimism, creativity. It's like he wants to conquer everything. That's why he's like giddying up over here and pulling his horse to run and to go towards the next thing. Okay, so again, it is a good card for travel. It's Sagittarius energy, and in astrology that's all about long distance travel. I don't know why I'm feeling like it's like, yeah, I feel like you definitely are thinking about your goals. It's also again about studying, okay, education, okay, as well for some of you, higher education. So maybe you are learning something, maybe you're just learning something for fun. The Knight of Wands is like a forever student of life, right? He's always wanting to know more and learn more and do more things and always be exposed to new energy, right? It's like momentum and motivation and all that kind of stuff. So this is an energy to step into, to focus on. A really good time for exercise, for example, and getting your energies flowing or building momentum in your life as well, which feels like it is, because you do have a lot of movement in this top section here, which is what I was saying to you. So I absolutely feel like anything that creates movement in your life, they're wanting you to do it, like study new things and go towards new opportunities and just try things out, is what that Knight of Wands is all about for me. I love the Knight of Wands, to be honest. Right. You have some wish fulfillment coming through this week, which we will dive into and see what this is about. It's really about focusing on yourself as well. So maybe if you do have low batteries or you are struggling with some self-love, this is a really good time to focus on things that bring you joy. The Nine of Cups is like more of a selfish happiness, which is not a bad thing. All right. It's about yourself, right? It's about actually choosing yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. So doing things that make you happy this week is really important. And even focusing on what you want is also really important too. But there is a level of wish fulfillment happening this week with this. It could be love, because you do the Two of Cups here. But we will dive into that a little bit as well, because you do have other emotional cards. But then you have the Seven of Pentacles and the Hermit. I almost want to bring them together because they are kind of strong earth energy. Seven of Pentacles in the middle of your reading is suggesting that you feel like something needs some change because you're not seeing a lot of results coming back from your actions, most likely. And it's a really good card to analyze, especially with the Hermit too. All about analyzing and looking at things from a higher perspective. I always say with the Seven of Pentacles, don't give up on what you're doing, but just adjust it and change it if it's not giving back to you. Of course, it's a good time to really look at what you're giving to in your life, whether it's hobbies or habits or people or your job or certain things that you might be doing in your career or your money, and really start to change it if it's not working for you. Okay, so a really good time for that. All right, and the same with the Hermit again, is really about looking at something from a higher perspective. And in fact, what's interesting is they both seem to have that same stick. Well, one is a shovel here, but the other one is a staff of wisdom. So it feels like you are going to find something out about this. There is an enlightened element about the Hermit. So whatever analogy or analysis you guys make this week, you're really going to understand what needs to change, okay? But we will dive a bit deeper into these messages in a second. You then have the Two of Cups, all about love, soulmates, and partnerships being important this week. We already have that as well over here. So it does feel like you are deepening your connections or meeting really great people this week, which we will see, and having really important conversations as well. The Three of Swords does represent some heartache and pain. So you guys could have a little bit of pain still within you. Now, I don't know if this is from a past event or something that might be happening this week, but Three of Swords is a painful energy, okay? So we will dive into that in a little bit. Because you have the Eight of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords, it could be to do with maybe something you're having to assess, because again, you might be feeling a little bit of heartache and pain over the fact that something that you've been really working hard on might not be fulfilling you very much, or might not be giving back to you what you expected. Okay, it does need some change here, but we'll dive in a bit deeper to see what that is. And then you have the Knight of Cups. It could again be a soulmate, could be a romantic offer coming your way. If it's not to do with anybody else and it's all to do with you, Aries, and this week again, it's really about overcoming some anxieties or some emotional blockages so that you can reach new territory, do new things. So let's dive in a little bit deeper to your cards and see what else is coming up for you guys. All right. Let's have a little look. What is the Six of Swords here for Aries? What is this movement? I love how it flipped itself around. So I will show you. Now, the Eight of Swords in reverse is a really positive sign. You have released yourself from feeling stuck or trapped in something. Whether it means that you were actually stuck in something or whether it was a mindset, however it applies to you, everyone is different. But this is good because this movement has been initiated because you freed yourself from something that felt very like a prison, maybe prison of your mind or prison in a relationship or prison in a career. Whatever it is, you are really freeing yourself, which is beautiful. Six of Swords, you're still finding your feet, you're still moving forward. However, you are going to definitely move towards much more stable times and even more times of expansion. And I'll tell you why, because he's on water here, which is kind of all about things are still a bit unstable. If you think about being on water, it's up and down. Eight of Wands as well is almost where things are still moving forward, but you're solidifying something. And the Knight of Wands is he's on land already, so now he's able to run free and explore. So that's what I'm getting here. So in terms of your career or any area of your life, that's the sense I'm getting. All right, but anyway, you're freeing yourself from feeling stuck. This is amazing. You're no longer seeing yourself as trapped, as helpless, as hopeless. You're moving forward, okay, which is amazing. You're taking your power back in a lot of ways. The Eight of Wands here, why is this here? You have the Devil and the Hierophant. The Hierophant jumped on top of the Soulmate, so again, the Devil can represent fears or maybe, again, toxic situations, responsibilities, contracts, stuff like that. It could be government stuff too. It's also about responsibilities, maybe even in terms of work here. What's interesting is I feel like this is saying that what's being lifted in the Eight of Wands is fears, like the Eight of Swords, or any toxic environments that were kind of negative or kept you stuck and bounded. The reason why you have a lot of movement now is because you've definitely freed yourself from whatever the devil energy is to you. Again, fears, mindsets, whatever, bad habits, temptations, addictions, people, whatever it is, the devil represents chains. So things that kept you bounded. That's why all of a sudden there's all this speed coming through, which is interesting. And then you have the Hierophant. This is the difference between fear and faith, which is interesting. That could be where the blockages have lifted. You're deciding to have more faith. Maybe you're connecting more to your faith in the spiritual world, to the universe, to God, whatever it is. That's where the blockages seem to be lifted and things are moving forward very rapidly for you there. So that's interesting. Of course, the Hierophant also did jump on top of Soulmate as well. So maybe you guys are releasing some fears and moving forward in a connection with somebody, okay? That's also going to be important. You could also get really good news about other contracts or commitments that are coming up for you as well, which is great. And it's not things that keep you stuck or bounded. It's things that make you feel more free and hopeful, right? The Knight of Wands, why is this here in Aries reading? The Five of Cups. So you are being definitely called to be more optimistic. Five of Cups is pessimism, right? She's focusing only on what has spilled and gone wrong in her life, the things that did not go to plan, and she's not focusing on the things that she does have in her life, right? Like gratitude or the silver lining. So in order to gain momentum and movement, you have to drop the things that are out of your control and start to gain more fun in life again. Okay, so if you're feeling low, you're feeling upset, and this is where you're starting to isolate, they're saying go out and have some fun, arrange an event, go somewhere, go and explore a new territory in your area or whatever it is. Like go and do something, find a hobby, do something creative. Okay, don't allow the things that causing disappointments to get you down. The Knight of Wands always knows that there is something out there for him that will bring him happiness, and he's just excited about life. So it's a really good time to let go again of the things that you cannot control and change, and start to focus on what you can. All right. The Nine of Cups. Let's see what this is about for my lovely Aries. Nine of Cups. The Three of Pentacles. So there could be some wish fulfillment or wish fulfillments in terms of a plan. Like you could really be strategizing and figuring out what it is that you want and desire, Aries, this week, which is great. There's a lot of self-fulfillment going on this week with that, but you could also be getting some really good news and wish fulfillment when it comes down to maybe a dream collaboration, a dream commitment is this is a card of collaboration and building something. So usually it's going into the first stages of something. That's how I see it. So whether it's the first stages of a relationship, you're building the foundations. It could be a new career where you're kind of establishing your relationships with others. Whatever it is you're doing this week that is to do with others or building something or a plan, is bringing in good feelings, and I want you to do more of that. Okay, that's a really nice combination to have. Why is the Seven of Pentacles here then, please, Spirit, in the center of Aries reading? Yeah, the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So what's interesting is they're wanting you definitely to expand, which makes sense with that Imagine card. Seven of Pentacles being about thinking about what you're giving your time and energy to and not really feeling very satisfied here with what it's giving back to you. The Nine of Cups, again, wish fulfillment. The Knight of Cups about kind of overcoming maybe some emotional fears, most likely anxieties about being vulnerable or doing something to put yourself out there. For example, some of you, it feels like progress. There is definitely something that you need to do that you can get progress from if it's not working already. So maybe this plan about what brings you happiness is going to cause you to take some steps towards it, even though it's a little bit, what's the anxiety inducing? Like it feels big, whatever you're having to do here. And you could be procrastinating and postponing it. Whether it's speaking in front of an audience or I don't know, it feels like it's something that brings in a bit of like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. But I really would like to do this someday, and it's like, okay, well, this is a really good time to start doing it now, to build on what it is that you're building on, like whether it's career and you own your own company, and on the other side of, where you are at now, and on the other side of the fear, there is all the success that you want. It's almost like you're having to kind of push past a little bit of an emotional boundary that stopped you from doing that thing that you've always wanted to bring into your career, for example, whatever it is. Whatever it is. The Knight of Cups, again, is all about your emotions here. If it's in terms of a relationship, I think being more vulnerable, wearing your heart on your sleeve is not a bad thing. Again, it seems to be your advice for whatever is in that. Seven of Pentacles. Right, let's see what's going on with the Hermit. Why is the Hermit here? So this is feeling jaded or bored in your life when the Four of Cups comes in. So again, feeling like something's missing, feeling unsatisfied, but also not really making a lot of changes. It does feel like with the Seven of Pentacles, with that Hermit, it does feel like in order to change the situation, it's kind of making you feel quite reflective or a little bit, the feelings that come up with the Seven of Pentacles is like, oh, should I just give up with this? I know you don't want to. I can sense that, and I don't feel like you're going to anyway, but it's like, again, you're not really seeing the results that you desire from something. So again, the Four of Cups is here because emotionally you feel like something is unfulfilling. The Hermit is really about understanding, okay, why do you feel this way and what's stopping you from changing something? Because the Four of Cups is very Piscean energy, and Pisces is very up in fairyland usually, is their stereotype, right? And a lot of like imagination, getting stuck up with imagining what it is that you desire, but not really taking that action to get there. So Spirit is almost saying here, shining a little bit of wisdom on you here, saying to listen to your higher self and what it's already probably telling you, that there might be something that you could do in a situation to bring yourself more happiness and more fulfillment, right? In whatever it is that you're kind of in your life in general, most probably, but it definitely feels like your career. Two of Cups, what is this? The Nine of Wands. So there's a little bit of like a boundary going on here in a romantic sense in your love life. You do definitely have some boundaries against, like that's a weird, my first going strange here, against people with the Two of Cups here. Like I said, there is really positive people around you and people who care about you. The Two of Cups is like mutual. But the Nine of Wands and the Three of Wands is almost like you're kind of waiting. Some of you, I wonder, do you ever, when things are good and it's like, I'm just waiting for them to cross the line with me. That's what it feels like. You're kind of anticipating the worst here in a situation. Or you could just be waiting for a love interest. Of course, Three of Wands is here, but the Nine of Wands is almost like you're waiting behind this boundary. So you're protecting yourself when it comes down to relationships as well. And that could also be what isolation is even if you are around people for work or whatever it is that you're doing on your day-to-day, it does feel like there is a strong boundary, but you're waiting for connections, but you're also not letting people in. Because it's like a very protective energy. It's interesting. I don't know what exactly I'm seeing, and it's going to clearly only resonate for some of you. But I'm literally seeing a fence, and that is kind of your boundaries. And you're waiting on the other side of your boundaries. Which, of course, you don't want somebody to cross your boundaries to get to you, right? I don't know. Are you guys a little bit toxic? Just saying. Just make sure you are not, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I'll let anybody resonate with that however they need to, but that's just what I'm seeing. Maybe it's a good time to open up. In all areas of your life, it seems to be, right? Let's look at the Three of Swords. Ten of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So what is hurting you? It seems to be to do with a dream. The Ace of Wands could be moving. I don't know why I always see it as that, but it's like a relocation. It's like a new area. But the Ace of Wands is a new passionate beginning. Ten of Cups is also happiness and fulfillment, happily ever after. So maybe there is some pain around your goals. Maybe there's some heartache around your goals. Like we said over here, maybe there is an element of you actually not really feeling good enough. Like all of this, remember, is all surrounding the snake. This is all about you discovering some untapped potential. You're absolutely capable of having the things that you desire. I don't know if you ever see, but on the Magician card, usually there is like a snake doing the same thing around the magician's waist. You are literally capable of manifesting the things that you desire, but you're in this kind of precipice, as I always keep saying here in your reading, about kind of like opening up and going and kind of pushing past some sort of glass ceiling or something like that here. If you've been trying to make more money and, you've been trying different things and you're just not seeing results, or it does feel like you're trying to do something, but something does need to change. You need to do something in a different way. I don't exactly know what, but what's causing heartache is around clearly a dream or a goal here, which is interesting. And the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles on the other side. On the other side of vulnerability and fears and anxiety is this woman holding a coin. You already had the woman holding a coin. Now she's showing up in the Queen of Pentacles. So whether it is you in a stable financial situation, or whether it's just you having more than enough wealth, having a luxurious life, whether it is just having a high status in your career, whatever it is, certain savings, certain money amount, whatever it is, it's on the other side of crossing some sort of like anxious barrier. I always say that with the Knight of Cups. It does mean that maybe you guys need to wear your heart on your sleeve and ask somebody for some help or advice or a new opportunity or something, a pay rise, a promotion. The Knight of Cups is actually an offer. Okay, and it does feel like it might be coming from you. And again, it could be something that you're scared about, but it feels like it'll be well received. All right? So whether Queen of Pentacles is you, and that's you crossing this barrier, like they said over here as well, to get wish fulfillment, it feels like you have to do something a little bit more vulnerable or something that you're fearful of doing because it's new. Anyway, my angels, that is your reading. I hope this has helped. Clearly a very mixture of messages for you guys this week, but I hope it helped nonetheless. And if it did, let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. All right.